In the tiny, sun-drenched village of Arohi, nestled between a whispering river and a hill of purple sage, lived three inseparable friends: Kian, Raya, and Jayan. Kian, the eldest, was a dreamer, his head often in the clouds, sketching fantastical flying machines in the dust. Rhea, sharp as a tack, was the village's unofficial historian, remembering every tale and legend. Jayan, quiet and strong, was the builder, his hands always calloused from working with wood and stone. Arohi's heart was the ancient, crumbling bell tower. The villagers believed that as long as the old bell of harmony rang on the first day of spring, their crops would flourish and their peace would hold. The winter that year was harsh and long. A week before the spring festival, a terrible storm ripped through the valley. The wind howled like a beast, and when the sun finally broke through, the villagers rushed to the tower. A great section of the stone wall had collapsed, taking the bell's heavy rope with it. The bell itself was safe, but completely unreachable. Panic began to spread. Without the ring, disaster was certain, the elders muttered. Kian, Rhea, and Jayan stood before the rubble. "The bell platform is too high to climb," said Jayan, running a hand over the slick, remaining stones. "And the whole structure is too unstable to rebuild in time." Rhea pointed to a slim, winding crack near the top. "According to the ancient scrolls, there's a narrow service shaft, but only something small and light could navigate it." Kian's eyes lit up. "Not a person, but something I can guide. An aerofoil." The next 4 days were a blur. Jayan worked feverishly, carving and sanding the lightest bamboo poles into Kian's intricate design. Rhea, remembering the exact angles of the tower's interior from an old village song, guided Kian on the precise dimensions needed to pass the tight corners of the shaft. On the morning of the festival, Kian stood with his heart pounding, holding a fragile, kite-like device made of paper-thin silk and bamboo. Attached to its tip was a sturdy new rope, no thicker than a vine. The villagers watched, holding their breath. Kian launched his invention. It soared, dipped, and caught the thermal breeze rising from the shaft. Following Kian's gentle tugs on a guide string, the tiny aircraft navigated the dark interior, its silk catching the dust motes like fireflies. It was agonizingly slow, but finally the nose popped out near the bell's great wooden clapper. Jayan's strong hands secured the new rope, pulling it taut. The three friends stepped back. Jayan took hold of the new rope, Rhea nodded at him, and Kian smiled, his dream of flight serving a greater purpose than he ever imagined. Jayan pulled. The bell of harmony rang out, its deep, sonorous boom echoing across Arohi, banishing the villagers' fear and ushering in the promise of a bountiful spring. The sound was a song of friendship, a blend of a builder's strength, a historian's knowledge, and a dreamer's innovation.